Hello everyone, so this Wednesday, the 13th of July, at 2:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the closest supermoon of the entire year. It happens in Capricorn, and it is called the Buck Moon. Now, this moon is the closest supermoon of the year because the moon is physically at its closest point to the Earth plane that it's ever going to be in the entire year. And because it is so close to us, this supermoon is going to be quite powerful. A powerful period for great transformation for us both individually and collectively. Now, full moons are always periods of transformation, and these transitional periods are when the cosmic inhale of energy of the waxing moon, where the moon is growing in the sky, and everything that we've been working on for the past 28-day lunar cycle has now come to completion. It's come to its fullness, and it celebrates that with the full moon. And in that full moon, the moon transitions into a cosmic exhale, a release of energy as she wanes in the night sky and grows smaller and smaller. Now, this is a powerful, transformational, super buck moon and has some truly potent aspects to help assist us in our journey of self-transformation after our deeply emotional, heart-led journey during the new moon. So let's take a look at the influences this supermoon has over our collective transformational process first, and then we'll take a look at what this means for us individually. So this supermoon is conjunct with Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto, it represents death and rebirth. It is this revolutionary energy that destroys old energies, old patterns, old structures, and it gives rise to new pathways, new opportunities, and new visions. Now, this energy is conjunct with the moon, which represents our deepest inner emotional self, in Capricorn, which represents our work and our government. So, on a personal level, this can mean there are some great new changes in our career that are going to propel us towards our soul agreements and our divine purpose. And on a collective level, this could represent some major changes to our governing structures that are controlling the world. So back in February, we experienced the U.S. Pluto return for the first time in a series of 3 occurrences that are going to happen this year. This is when the transiting Pluto of our present time conjuncts the Pluto of the 4th of July in 1776. Now, for us Americans, the 4th of July in 1776 is the most important day for our country. It was the birth of our country and the signing of the Declaration of Independence from the monarch. And so this is the second exact conjunction where this Pluto has returned after its 246-year cycle, and it has returned to that same position and is now conjunct to where it was when we signed the Declaration of Independence. Now, the first time it happened was in February. The second time it happens is during this full moon. And this happens in the second house for the United States, which means this revolutionary energy will have a very significant impact on the U.S. economy and the banking system that controls this country. So what this means exactly, we can't tell for certain. But the cosmic energies point to some major changes in the financial structure of the United States, which hopefully will bring some relief for these highest recorded inflation rates and the biggest recession of all time. Time will tell, but it's clear that the universe has some major changes in store for us. Another major aspect for this full moon is Uranus, which represents freedom and awakening, is in Taurus, which represents food and the earth. So we can expect some major changes ushering in a new earth, as well as some major changes and possibly disruptions to our agricultural and food industry. So you might want to stock up on some favorite foods and start a garden or a garden wall in your house, just to make sure that you can pass through these transitions as gently and graciously as possible. Now, one thing I want to mention is these astrological influences are broad strokes of energy that generally sweep through our physical experience. Now, we sometimes can feel and experience these energies more immediately, but usually we see these influences develop and unfold in our physical reality on a gradual basis. So we have these astrological dynamics that shine on us for this full moon, and then they would begin to develop and unpack and unfold in our physical reality, and we begin to experience the reverberations of those cosmic dynamics that influence this full moon. Now, it's already quite clear that the United States, as well as the entire world, has been going through a turbulent transformation over the past couple years. This transformation will continue, and it will continue to dismantle the old structures of control over our world. And when these old structures of control are dismantled, this will give birth and rise to a new earth that is destined to rise within our lifetime. Uranus, the planet of freedom and awakening, let's think about that. So there's Saturn, and Saturn is a planet of control. It has these rings around it that hold that energy in. It's a teacher planet, and it's the planet of control. The next planet out of that is Uranus. And so it's all about breaking free from the control. It's all about freedom. It's all about awakening. So this planet, Uranus, isn't the only cosmic force influencing Taurus. It's also teamed up with Mars, which is powerful warrior energy. It's this masculine, initiatory warrior energy, and it's also teamed up with the North Node, which represents our future. This is a rare triple conjunction that is happening at the end of July, and it brings with it some powerful and rebellious, revolutionary, and truly awakening energies that will sweep across the world, especially in the United States. The last time that we experienced this rare triple conjunction was in 1855, when the Kansas state election was contested and overturned due to voter fraud. And for the first time in 167 years, we are seeing the same cosmic force influencing this powerful period of great transformation. We already knew that big changes were on the horizon with the US Pluto return, and all the craziness we have all been inescapably experiencing is palpable, and it's an indication that the tides in this world are changing. So what does this mean for us individually? Well, historically, as a human species, we've been living from the outside in. What does this mean? For me, this means that we perceive, study, and experience the world from our external circumstances. The things that we see on TV, the opinions of others, like the opinions of society, our family, our friends, our social networks, all the opinions of others, the experiences that we've had that are both good, bad, and traumatic, are all these external forces that impact us, that shape us to who we are, and impact the decisions that we make, and how we feel about ourselves, and how we feel about the world that we're living in. That, for me, is living from the outside in. And it is how we've been living our lives as far as we can remember. However, we are shifting from living from the outside in to living from the inside out, which is giving rise to the new earth, the new vision of the world, the new human experience, and the new you, and the new me. The earth and the cosmic forces that influence our world are guiding us towards shifting our focus and perceptions from all the chaos and distractions of the world. Think about it. There's distractions everywhere you turn. Your cell phone is the biggest distraction we have. Social media, the news, politics, opinions of others, this, that, everywhere you turn, there's some kind of distraction to steal your concentration, to steal your focus and your energy. And so we're shifting from allowing all of these external forces to kind of rip us apart and take this energy away from us, and shifting that focus from the chaos of the world and redirecting it to our inner self. Because we're beginning to realize, and we're beginning to make inner peace and happiness a priority. A priority over being socially accepted. A priority over keeping up with societal expectations. And this very shift in awareness is giving rise to the love revolution. Because by nature, we are spiritual beings of love. And when we project our focus outward into the world, we lose sight of who we truly are and what our divine purpose truly is. But when we direct our focus inward, we can remember who we are and what we're capable of, not being influenced, limited, or pressured by these external conditions and circumstances around us. So how do we do that? How do we shift our perspective from focusing on everything that is happening in the world when the world is seeming to fall apart, to focusing on our own healing journey? Because it's easier said than done. I know it's a process that we will all work through. For me, it was limiting my social media usage. Most days, I only check my phone 1 or 2 times a day. I only check my email once a day if I check email that day. I've never had a Netflix or Hulu subscription, and I haven't owned a TV in over a decade. But whenever I do find myself watching something, I'm very particular about the content I watch. I tend to only watch nature shows. I love nature shows, animal shows, and everything about the world that we live in. I mean, that's my go-to. Or lighthearted, wholesome comedy and spiritual programs. And instead of filling my time up with scrolling through social media, which I admit, I have been addicted to social media before, and it takes a lot of effort to detox from social media. And instead of wasting my time scrolling through Facebook or watching TV or being a workaholic, which I have been a workaholic before, I now use my time and energy to create the life I want to live. I truly focus my energy on healing myself, becoming the person that I want to be, and creating the life I want to live. And for me, that's building my suburban homestead, raising my chickens, spending time with my cats and my dog, gardening, fixing my house, and creating my dream home. These are all the things that are super important to me. So I focus on that. And I've been lucky enough to create a career out of my passion, which is my passion for healing and transformation. You know, the first person I needed to heal and to transform was myself. And that process allowed me to discover the pathway of healing and transformation. And now, for those who are ready to walk that path, I can be there to help them in that journey. And that is one of the major reasons why I do these lunar readings. And I have this deep transformational lunar club, studying the energies of the universe to help guide people towards their own healing process, because our healing journey is different for each and every one of us. And the universe is here to help us all transition through this journey of the soul. So this supermoon in Capricorn is here to help us make this transition, because Capricorn energy is very hardworking energy. It's all about doing the inner work and putting in the effort and energy required to becoming the person you want to become and living the life that you want to create for yourself. Now, opposing this energetic dynamic is the sun in Cancer, which is concentrating this hard-working, persevering energy towards spiritual, mental, and emotional well-being and understanding. Now, this is super potent energy to help us take emotional inventory over our lives and to help guide us towards our spiritual goals. You know, if you're feeling certain emotions throughout the day, throughout the weeks, throughout the months, throughout your life, and you have these thoughts that come in your mind frequently, that you've had this thought that you've not been worthy for the past 3 decades. It's time to take inventory of what is consuming your energy, what is taking up space in your mental body, what is taking up space in your emotional body. Write that all down and take an inventory of what you're carrying around with you. And then you can see in black and white on paper, wow, I've been having these thoughts and these feelings, and I don't think I need to feel this anymore. I'm ready to let that go. And so this full moon is really helping us to take emotional inventory of ourselves, to really clear out the old so we have space for the new to arrive within us. Another interesting astrological aspect that I see in this chart for the full moon is a mystic rectangle. So if you pull up the chart for this full moon, you'll see a rectangle in the chart for this supermoon, and this is giving us access to the higher realms of consciousness in order to receive guidance and messages from our true divine self. These messages and guidance will arrive to us both physically and spiritually. So let's think about it. We have this physical body with 5 senses that allows us to experience this physical reality. But we're not just a physical body. We have a soul and a spirit, and we have this spiritual energetic body. And this spiritual energetic body also has senses, and we call these clair abilities. So during this full moon, our clair abilities are heightened and they're strengthened in order for us to receive vital guidance as we transition back to love and to rediscover our divine purpose. The world may seem like it's chaotically falling apart around us and everyone has gone mad. And that may be true, But we always have a decision to either allow the external world to control us, or we can take control over our own personal well-being, despite what is happening in the world around us. We can either bear the weight of the world on our shoulders, or we can focus on ourselves and our own healing journey. We can see it written in the sky with a T-square with Saturn, the planet of control, and Aquarius, the sign of freedom. With the North Node representing our future in Scorpio, the sign of rebirth. And Uranus, the planet of freedom and awakening, in Taurus, the sign that represents the earth. We are the creators of our experience, both individually and collectively. And from my current perspective, if we continue to focus on the world around us, the external world, on society, on what everyone else is doing in their life, and the opinions of everyone else in our life, that will drag us down in with the destructive forces as our old world and old ways of living deteriorates. So we can make that choice to cling on to the old ways, or we can let the patterns of the past die and try something new and redirect our priority and focus on our own spiritual and mental and emotional well-being. And from this place, then we can create the life we want to experience. The power of choice is always in our hands. In every moment, we have the free will to choose, and every choice that we have made thus far in our life has gotten us to this very moment in our lives. And the super buck moon is a portal of deep transformational energy that we can either go with the flow or we continue to hold on to the past. Either way, the choice is ours. So for the full moon oracle reading is, what do you need to release? So appropriate for this full moon. What do you need to release? What do you need to clear out? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to forgive? What do you need to heal? What is it time to just let go of so that you can be free to step forward without the burdens of what is holding you back? What limitations can you let go? These are some really deep questions to ask yourself during this full moon. What can you clear out from your life? And if you want even more information about this buck moon and what the buck moon represents, watch my video on what the buck moon means, and I'll put a link in the description box below. And for those of you in the Deep Transformational Lunar Club, check out the healing rituals for this lunation. We're working with the earth element, of course, because Capricorn is an earth sign. And for those of you interested in bringing more healing and transformation in your life and discovering your divine purpose, join our Lunar Club. It's a collection of people interested in healing and self-transformation by studying the cosmic forces of our world that is guided by the moon. And you will learn so much, and every lunar reading I give rituals for healing and deep transformation, and that's where the juice is. That's where the true magic of these cosmic forces resides. It resides in the rituals, in not only understanding what is going on, which these readings help give a framework, a reference, an idea, a concept of the energies that we're experiencing And then the rituals is harnessing these energies to create the changes that you want to create in your life. It's manipulating and using these energies and becoming the conscious creator of your life. Everything in life is a ritual. And when you bring it into consciousness and you start working with the divine forces of our world, especially the elemental forces and the cosmic forces that create this world and co-create this human experience with us, you will unlock magic that you never thought was possible. And so I invite you to join us in this deep transformational lunar club and this study of the moon and our universe and how to live in a divine accordance with these cosmic forces. So I hope to see you in the lunar club, and for my lunar club members, I hope you guys have a beautiful full moon ceremony, and until next time, bye guys.